So if you're still rocking the S24 Ultra or an older device in 2025 like I am, then there are a couple of things you can do to give yourself a sense of a new device, a sense of change, and kind of stay content with your device as we see newer and newer devices come out. If you are a follower of my channel, you've seen my video on the S24 Ultra. If you haven't, I encourage you to do so. I'm a strong believer, especially when it comes to things like e-waste and things like that, that if you have a device that you're happy with, there is no point in spending £1,500 or dollars on something that's going to give you an incremental change, not much of a difference, just so you can feel like you've got a newer device, show off to your friends and whatnot. I don't think that's necessary. I think unless you are a content creator or you need a new device for work, then stick with what you've got. Like I said, this video is about what you can do to give yourself that feeling of contentment and a little bit of change to keep you happy with your current device. Having said that, one of the things you can do is constantly change your wallpapers, constantly change the look and feel of your device, the aesthetic of it. And one of those things as well is changing the case, and this is what this video is about. So if you constantly changing cases, which is going to cost you 20 to 30 quid, a fraction of the price, literally a percent of the price that you would have to spend on a new device, just spend it on a case, and it's going to give you that contentment, that continued like renewed feeling that you're using a different device. And in terms of software, you're not going to feel a major difference unless you're constantly gaming and editing on your phone. You're not going to feel a difference. So let's get cracking with the cases. The two cases that I've been using for a long time, I would recommend for the S24 Ultra. By the way, you can find these for the S25 Ultra and for older devices as well, because the companies do the same cases for different generations. Now, this one is from Banks, and I love the aesthetic of it. This is when I want a kind of clean, simplistic design for my S24 Ultra. You can see it's got like microfiber effect on the case, black, simple, clean look. A couple of things that I love about this case. Firstly, I never go for the thin profile cases because they've got gaps on the side and they just don't fully protect your phone, which I don't like. I'm buying a case, I'm investing in a case for a reason, so make sure it's full protection all around. So a couple of things about this case. You can see the side buttons, volume and the power button, are completely protected with a bit of airflow on the side. I love the simplicity of it. And then you've got a metal kind of casing around the camera, and I'll put this on the phone in a minute to show you how it looks, but that is definitely, you know, well received, and definitely something that every case should have. It's slightly raised, as you can see, so if you do drop your phone flat, then your cameras are protected, and it's metal. So another thing that I really like is the punch out holes for the case. They perfectly align with all of the different areas of the phone, but specifically a problem I've had with previous cases is that this charging port hole is not big enough. And when you have chargers, let me show you. So when you buy your own chargers, some of the chargers have a thicker plasticky bit to hold the USB-C charging in place and keep it firm. And these cost quite a bit of money, but some cases have a perfectly cut out hole that chargers like this are, you know, too big for it, they don't fit. But with this one, it's got enough space for any charger, any charging case casing to fit in the hole perfectly well. You can see from here, this is a MagSafe case as well, which is really nice because Samsung still doesn't have that. So you can slap on any accessories like a charging a power bank or a wallet if you want, which just gives you a bit more flexibility. And it's made from Kevlar, which is a synthetic material, which is really, really strong, but also really light. So you don't want something that's too bulky and it's going to add weight to an already strong and weighty device. So if I put it on, you can see it slips on really nicely. That's what I was talking about here, the cover, the casing for around the camera. It's really nice. The ports fit perfectly, and you've got the S Pen cut out here, which is perfectly aligned, and then the buttons are also perfect there. So one of my favorite cases, and also a really important thing, you can see a slight raise here in the case at the bottom and the top, so that if you drop it flat, I don't know if you can see that, if you drop it flat, then the friction and the contact is going to happen here rather than directly on the screen, and protective. Also easy to take on and off. Now let's go on to the second one. This is my second favorite case from Spigen. This is the Spigen internals case. Again, they do this for their S25s models, and they do this for older devices as well. This one is when I'm feeling a bit funky and I want something different. As you can see, it's MagSafe. You can see the internals design on the case here, and this is a really nice case. I've sold quite a few, but this one I didn't want to let go of, and I wanted to keep it because I love the design. They could have added a bit more protection around the cameras, but you can see where this is different. They've gone an extra bit further, and they've cut out kind of holes for individual cameras, whereas Banks haven't done that. But Banks offer the metal kind of covering around the edges, while this one doesn't. So I'll put it on in a minute, but it's completely flat with the camera. I do like the kind of material that's used here to differentiate between the lock button and the volume up and down. So if you're trying to lock your phone or silence it in your pocket, you immediately know, because of these ridges here in the case, that this is the lock button compared to the volume keys, which is nice. Again, a really nice and wide part at the bottom, so you can charge your phone quite comfortably with any charger. Cutouts perfectly aligned. There is a bit of a rise as well on the top here and here, so in case you drop your phone flat. But again, MagSafe, again, for me, this is more of a design kind of thing. So if I wanted to, you know, feeling a bit funky and want something different, this is what I would go for, compared to this, which is also really nice. Now, I got this little phone kind of holder for my Banks case. It magnetizes really nicely. It's really strong, and it works with other cases as well. Now, this is to kind of prop up your phone if you're watching a video. It works both ways, in a vertical or in horizontal mode. It's really nice if you're watching, you know, short form content. And it's got a finger pop bit here where you can bring it out and hold your phone like that. If you want to use your phone a bit more of a comfortable one-handed use, that really helps. Really strong. It goes around, you know, 360 degrees, and it's definitely something that I would recommend if you are a heavy one-handed user of your device. But yeah, let me know what cases you guys are currently using, either for your newer S25s or your older devices. These are two of my favorites. One for simplicity, I keep it simple, and one if I'm feeling a bit funky and I want a bit of a design. I know there are tons and tons of cases out there, but these are definitely two of my favorite ones. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.